Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a special video. We're gonna go back to the 60s and talk about a very iconic, probably the most iconic car that was ever produced. That's gonna be an interesting episode. I hope you like it. It's a sad day today because Sean Connery passed away, the best James Bond 007, obviously a car enthusiast and an icon of cars, given that he made the Aston Martin DB5 so famous in the 60s. So it's a sad day, but to honor him, we're gonna go back to the 60s and have some fun.
Hi guys, welcome to Garage Buds. My name is Alexis Casanova, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about my 1967 Volkswagen Beetle. Man, I love this car. This car means a lot to me, to my family, and especially to my friends as well. We're going to be taking you through what the things that I've done to this car that makes it my car, and the key things about this particular year. Everybody thinks that all the Beetles are the same, but they're not. They're slightly differences, even though it still maintains the Beetle shape, as everybody knows. So stay tuned. So I purchased this car in September 11 of 2019. And little that I knew, I was really interested about the history of the car, the history of this particular car. So I was fortunate enough to find that this car has been in North Carolina since 1967. I was able to track down all previous owners and obviously know for how many years each one of these owners had. I was able to contact a few of them, and I do know that this car was restored about 10 or 12 years ago, and I've done a little bit of change to it. But now, obviously, me and my family and my friends, we're adding more to the history of this car. And if you see the before and after pictures when I purchased this car, you would see that it's really different. It still maintains, obviously, the color, but it looks different now. And that's the beauty about this car. You could, you could put your own history to it. And hopefully, whenever this car goes someplace else, the history will continue. And that's of these cars, and that's the beauty of these cars, the history that they bring, not only from an engineering perspective, not only before World War II, after World War II, but it's just the history of every time you meet a person, everybody has a story about these cars. So it's a never-ending story. 1967 Beetle. So since I purchased this car, one of the first things that I did, obviously, I put a sound system. As you can see here, this is literally a retro radio, but it's Bluetooth, and it's great because I can connect my phone, and the sound is great. The other thing that I did, I added these gauges. Obviously, this is for my RPMs. I got my oil temperature here, and I also have my oil pressure. These are key things that vintage Beetles did not come with. And I got this little wood knob made by a guy in the UK, and it is custom made. So these are the things that I did internally in this car. So another modification that I did to this car is that I put these smoothies in the back and I powder coated them. So as you can see, they're powder coated, and also this hubcap, as you can see, has this bronze metal plate here in the center done by a friend of mine in California. So these are things that I done to the wheels. So another thing I did, I added the bumpers, backup lights, and I did a brand new engine, which is a 1776. Okay. So the 1967 Beetle came with a 1500cc engine. This engine was modified, has the same original block for the car, and now it was converted recently into a 1776, meaning that we got bigger pistons, which gives a little bit more power to the car. Another modification that I did to the car, I added the roof rack. This is highly convenient to store shares and things like coolers and things like that. So this is really convenient, and it gives that little vintage look that the Beetles always have, the roof rack. As you can see here in the front, we got the grill homes. As you can see, there's the cog, Volkswagen. And then here as well, as you can see, they're matching. So that's another little cool detail that I put in there. As well, obviously, custom plate. So moving here into the compartment, what I did was I got these really nice vintage looking luggage, and whoever has a Beetle knows that they sometimes, they break. So what I did was all my spare parts, they're here. So spark plugs and all the necessary things that I need, especially for long trips with my buddies. And if anybody breaks caps and things like that, I even have here, this is a fuel pump and things like that. It just gives it that little vintage look. Well, guys, that's been all about modification and things that I've done to my 1967 Beetle. The one last thing that I'm going to be doing, I'm probably going to go with the white walls or the powder walls, just to give it that little vintage accent that these cars crave for, and they look really, really awesome. But rather than that, I love this car, and I hope it stays in my family for many, many, many years to come. Well, guys, I hope you liked the video. Remember to subscribe to Garage Buds.